All right, welcome back, everybody. Again, thank you to Cheryl.
Yeah.
We were talking, our notes were
not
what we ended up talking about.
But it was fascinating to me, and I guess because Darren and I my husband and I are going through some of it with his parents right now, and so I was just so interested in everything she was saying.
And the stuff that you wouldn't think about, I love the categories of seniors too. I think that's just, and you don't think of it, you think senior, you think frail and canes and stuff, but I mean, my gosh, even my parents retired now and are looking for options, different lifestyle.
Yeah.
Working seniors, so awesome.
Yeah.
Switching gears a little bit here, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to bring Audra in on the conversation, is borrow first, customize later. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I made coming into real estate. I had a marketing background, and I thought I was a baller. I thought I knew everything. I know, my ego was this big, and I got my teeth kicked in. I really did in my first year, and my deals came from accidents, just being around a realtor. I think just felt pity on me. My stepdad felt pity on me, throw me some deals, because I was always in the office, but I was doing the wrong thing, so I thought that I could build it better. Right. So I always say, now what I've learned is borrow the ideas first. This concept of modeling, it's like ethical stealing, because if you're in business and you model somebody else's idea, it's like professional ways of stealing.
So that's a good point, and that's another thing I love about CIR, because we have realtors who are willing to share their best practices.
Man, so true. It's a culture thing.
The mentorship that we do, yes, it's a culture. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know that the realtors, I mean, some of the ones we gave examples for the mentorship awards, these people are just willing to give it of themselves. Yeah. And this whole concept, there's no magic bullets in life. And we have this image up in the back, which we were joking, it's because you can't tell it's low resolution, but it's very low resolution. But it's this path going through the trees. And if you were to try to just walk through the forest on your own without following the path, it's slow going, it's very, very difficult. But when you follow the path, you know you can trust that people have walked it before you, it's been groomed, it's there for you. And we have 1.2 million realtors in the US, 60,000 realtors in Canada. There's been millions of people who have walked this path before you. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Borrow their ideas first, copy what they've done to be successful, walk those footprints, and then you can go ahead and customize later.
Yeah, but that being said, so would this come into play here? I'm asking the question.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it make sense then, as a realtor within a brokerage, get to know your fellow realtors, have conversations.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Come into the offices, sit down and do your paperwork and get to know the other realtor in the room, because there may be some information, some knowledge that you can share or that they can share with you, so that you can, I mean, those steps could be so much easier for you.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems in real estate is this faceless other, the text messaging, the things like that. We don't get to know other realtors. And when we talk about these different areas, asking other realtors, what they've done, then that totally helps. Now, you're going to get realtors who have different opinions. You ask somebody about websites or social media or open houses, and they might say, that crap doesn't work. You know what, like, don't do that, that doesn't work. Find somebody who it is working for and ask them.
Particularly if that's something you're interested in.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So I'm just going to use some examples here really quick. Health and fitness. You want to learn how to exercise better, have better nutrition, then ask somebody who is fit or is eating well, and ask them what they do, and get down to the details, the nitty-gritty details. Ask Max Niesemoff. Sorry, Max. Max is going to be like, all these people knocking on his door. But how do you prep your meals? What are you doing? Ask Tim Manget. The guy's on a journey. The guy's an animal right now regarding like what he puts into his body. Dean and Loanne, we had them on talk about. Ask what they do. Oh, we buy our Tupperware containers, and then we do this, and then we do that. Oh, okay, I didn't realize that. Yeah. Ask if you have kids, and you're like, oh, I wake up in the morning, I can never do that because my kids. Ask somebody with kids who's done it, and find out what they did. Same thing goes with wealth and finances. Same thing goes with relationships. Ask somebody who has good finances, good relationships. Don't take advice from poor people. Yeah. Don't take relationship advice from people who are recently divorced, unless you want to know how to go through.
Although they may have learned something.
That's right.
Yes.
So take the pieces of it. True. No offense. Oh gosh. Anyway, let's talk about your real estate business. Audra, if you wanted to learn how to update your database better and operate your database, how would you go about it? What are some of the best practices there?
I would call Gary Williamson and learn about prospects. So, I mean, that's a no-brainer for me, because I've noticed Gary is very passionate about that too. Like, he has that prospects program. He's got it down to a T. So I would pick his brain, or I'd go to one of his classes.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing too is Ninja Selling is all about that.
Yeah.
So it's like, take the Ninja course, and they lay it out for you in a step-by-step process about exactly what you're going to do. Here's who you call today. Here's what you say.
Yeah.
And it's the most authentic thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, I've done a couple of different things. Yeah, Ninja's one of the most authentic, I would say.
Yeah, and it's so user friendly. But people then do this thing. Oh, but I don't want to do that piece of it. Well, show me you can do that first.
Yes, and you have to do what works for you as well.
Totally.
So you have to make it your personality. So that's why you want to ask a few people about how they do something, so that you can make it your own as well.
Absolutely. And then don't feel bad about borrowing those ideas.
Yeah.
We have...
What's that saying about copying is the best compliment?
Yeah, is that imitation is the best form of flattery?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It's so true. And that person, especially when you ask them for advice, there's a saying out there too, we'll just euphemisms, but an old tongue loves to wag. And that is just, people love to give advice. And if you find somebody who doesn't want to give advice, that's okay.
Yeah.
Go on to the
Move
next
on to
person.
the next one.
They might
Yes.
not have an abundance mentality. That's okay, because there's more than enough people out there who are willing to. When we announced the fact that we're doing mentorship programs, 94 people put up their hands and said, I want to be mentors. We recently announced, had a question, who would like to shadow people with showings, or who would be willing to be a mentor.
Fantastic response.
Huge
Thank
response.
you to everyone on that.
So,
Yeah.
so great. How do you keep in touch with your database? Best My Nest. It's like plug and play. For $5, send your client a damn card, and now it's everything in regards to lifestyle in the palm of their hands.
So the other thing that CIR has, though, is the monthly newsletters and the market
gosh.
updates. Yeah. So, I mean, that again, with CIR, we set this up for you.
When I started in this business, I thought, you know what? Here's going to be this dramatic presentation I'm going to put together. Here's this, and I needed a graphic designer, and I needed all these things. And as a result of wanting all this and having so many things, nothing got done.
Right.
I fast forward a year, and I had nothing. And then Century 21 at the time had this listing presentation, which was all American based. And I remember bringing it to a listing presentation, being like, okay, I'll finally use this. And it worked, but the point was that it wasn't even relevant to our marketplace. So we've gone in and designed something for our listing and buying presentations that are completely turnkey.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't taken advantage of that, it's on the virtual office. It's under marketing. It's called listing presentation, buyer's presentation.
You got it.
And you can brand it to your own branding. So you can go in and change some things. You can take out some pages. It's for dummies. It's like listing presentation for dummies. Yeah, we've got it there for you. Use some of these tools that we've got there.
So if you wake up tomorrow morning, or even this afternoon, or right after this meeting, and you realize, geez, I don't have a newsletter, I don't have a great way of doing an annual CMA or a real estate review, I don't have a listing and buyer presentation, my business card is kind of bad, my feature sheets, I don't really know, I'm just using the matrix feature sheets. Well, we have it all for you. Snap of the fingers, it's done. Borrow that first. You're totally done. And then if you want to put your own flair on it, learn how you use your listing presentation. Don't overthink this. Just jump on the resource that already exists and go from there. Graphic design, it's the same thing. Advertising, open houses, talk to people. So there's so many different things like that.
So on that note, I know I'm new in the position. I feel like I'm still very new in the position. One of the things that I really appreciated was the day that we do everything CIR. So I know we're talking about a bunch of things here. And again, the average realtor can be a little overwhelmed.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're talking about newsletters, they're talking about Best My Nest. That's all great, but I don't know anything about it, and how do I get involved, or how do I find out about it? I think that one-day program with everything CIR, if you want a basic introduction to all the services that CIR has, register for that day, because I was amazed.
Yeah, yeah, and don't panic like you need to do everything today. It's because there's a lot, exactly. Just say, you know what, I'm going to worry my listing presentation today. You download it, you read through it, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. good, that's it. I can summarize that. I can send that in
Perfect
advance.
that and then go on to the next thing.
Exactly. But just note that this has all been done for you. I want to touch base on a couple quick more topics here. Number one, real estate teams. I see people who start teams and everyone has a better way to do this. Everyone's like, oh, well, I'm going to offer this split, and I'm going to offer this split, and I'm going to offer this, and I'm going to offer that. And I always see it that eventually they come right back down to the traditional models because they realize the cost of running a team, that you need to have more aggressive splits because of the value that they're adding. And I love teams, and I love agents who want to get involved in them from the standpoint of it's a low pressure, low risk way to generate leads and stuff in your business.
Yeah.
It's a collaborative atmosphere. There's so many great things about them, but it's gonna cost some stuff. But to get a percentage of business you wouldn't have had before is fantastic.
Yeah, and I can speak to that.
Yes.
I was on Tom Sherry's team, and it was a fantastic opportunity for me. I think I really jump-started my real estate career by being on that team.
Yeah, and that infrastructure is so important. But for team leads, don't reinvent the wheel.
Right.
Look at what other people have done and copy that. Otherwise, you'll go broke during the process. I'm trying to say, well,
Frustration,
I only need to offer them a
exhaustion.
20% split. What? You're crazy. Like
Yeah.
you're going to go broke as the team leader. It
Yeah.
sounds great in theory. I'm going to be the better guy. Well, I mean, it's problematic. The other thing I want to say is that if you have a group, if you have a mastermind group, if you're one of our mentorship group people, if you're one of the Ninja Skills groups, one of the new things, follow the agenda. Yeah. So many of these groups get off topic, bounce around, sidetracked. They come in, they want to talk about everything. Someone says, let's role play, and it's on the buying presentation or how to explain buyer brokerage, and they stop and they're like, okay, well, conceptually, what do you guys do for this? And then pretty soon the whole meeting is done brainstorming on this one thing, and nothing actually gets accomplished. Right. People get upset, people want to do stuff. Just follow the agenda. There's time and room for that in there. Follow what works first, follow what's been proven, then start customizing. After a few weeks of that, then say, okay, we're going to tweak this a little bit, but you always have that structure there.
Yeah, yeah. So, when you're talking about some of these I call them best practices.
Totally.
And the modeling. If you want more information, obviously, come to CIR. We'll help you out as much as we can, but do some research on your own, like Google, other agents, the courses that you can take here. Totally. Check with your manager. Check with some of the senior managers. No, I'm just kidding. Come and see me. If I don't know the answer, I'll find out for you. Find some books on some of these things that you want to do, and yeah, there's always the audios and that kind of thing as well. Our archive videos on the CIR virtual office too. There's lots of information there.
Yeah, the NAR audio programs, everything. You need to become self-authorized in your own learning in your business. This is your business. We are provided a bunch of tools, but only you can go ahead and use them. Only you can go ahead and take advantage of them. And I'll just go back to what you said before. Google. This business, realtors are notorious for being easy targets for salespeople and I should say entrepreneurs are easy targets for salespeople because the sales pitch comes in where it's like, for less than a deal a year, you too can own this amazing thing, and I need that. And realtors are like, I need that, I need that, I need that. Well, there's so many free resources online, Google, and between Inman News and Playster and all these different resources about how to get out there and how to do open houses, and some of the most not award-winning, but some of the most popular speakers and people that build businesses are now out there sharing their content. Google that. Yeah. And talk to your managers, talk to other realtors.
But don't forget, there's lots of information there that's free.
Well, exactly.
You don't have to sign up for the big
coaching
coaches and all of that. There's lots of information that's free.
Totally.
And again, pick one thing and perfect it. Don't jump on every bandwagon or think you're going to do everything at once. Or think about planning your year and stay the course. Yeah. Don't make these big shifts because it's so ineffective and inefficient.
And you'll never learn. It all works. Yeah. It all works. Farming works, open houses work, website leads work, social media works. It all works. If it's not working for you, you're not doing it right. And quit trying to, reinvent the wheel. Exactly. Oh.
We practice that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Good timing. Yeah. But just don't reinvent the wheel. Go back, model first, customize later.
Right.
call Audra. I want to thank you so much for coming on and hosting.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks.
And we are going to leave you guys with a very inspirational video. Now, hold on a second. Family Day next week.
Long weekend?
Is it
No,
next week?
it's not next weekend.
Oh, shoot. Anybody want to give me a confirmation on that? It's the week after. We have CIR Live next week. So
Yes.
tune in next week, and we're going to leave you with a great video that Jen sent to us. Kelly had it queued up already. I saw it being shared along social media, and this is a great way to think about diversity and the things we have in common. So have a look.
Have a great week.
It's easy to put people in boxes. There's us, and there's them. The high earners, and those just getting by. Those we trust, and those we try to avoid. There's the new Danes, and those who've always been here. The people from the countryside, and those who've never seen a cow. The religious, and the self-confident. There are those we share something with, and those we don't share anything with.
Velkommen. Jeg kommer til at stille jer nogle spørgsmål i dag. Nogle af dem kan godt være lidt personlige, men jeg håber, I vil svare ærligt på dem. Hvem herinde i rummet var klassens klovn? Hvem er bonusforældre?
And then suddenly, there's us. We who believe in life after death. We who've seen UFOs. And all of us who love to dance. We who've been bullied. And we who've bullied others. And then there's us, the lucky ones who've had sex this past week. We who are broken-hearted. We who are madly in love. We who feel lonely. We who are bisexual. And we who acknowledge the courage of others. We who have found the meaning of life. And we who have saved lives. And then there's all of us who just love Denmark. So maybe there's more that brings us together than we think. TV2 Denmark, all that we share.